Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And obviously, one of the things that we care about in the Pacific Northwest is tax fairness and the fact that we don't have an income tax, and we want the ability to deduct our sales tax from our federal income tax obligations. We do have a lot of itemizers because of this, and so making sure that we continue that policy and make it permanent is a big priority. I did want to follow up on this tax-exempt bond issue because one of the issues for us is the number of the region that the Northwest is on public power. And some of these tax-exempt bonds are used to finance public power projects for capital investment. So, and I don't know, maybe you don't know that, Dr. Rubin, I don't know if you know this, the answer to this or not, but what impact would this have on utility rates as a result if we got rid of the tax-exempt bond status?
So I don't know what the precise rates would be, but part of it's going to depend on how transition is done. So part of the reason I think any sort of reform, especially in the muni bond market, will need to have a certain level of reform and transition involved is because financial markets and local government revenues are still kind of not totally recovered. And so I think whatever we do, and as the federal government goes forward, if there is some switch in how we treat tax-exempt debt, it will be important to think about how specific localities will fare under these arrangements. And so having some sort of transition period will be pivotal in terms of being better able to understand what's going to happen in individual locations.
Wouldn't that cost, that missing advantage then have to be covered by ratepayers overall?
Well, so partly it depends how it's set up. So if we basically lower the tax-exempt status, it depends on whether it's newly issued debt or whether it's existing debt. So existing debt, any disadvantage would actually be borne by the people who are holding the debt right now. So it's not necessarily the people issuing it. If we moved into a new regime where there was a different system which maybe included tax credits rather than a tax-exempt status, I think it would depend on the issuing ability. And that's why I think having both systems in place, if we were going to do some transition for a little while, will be important to see whether revenue bonds can be approved at minimal cost to investors and issuers.
Well, I think this is an important question, so we'll be following up with you and the committee on this is to make sure that public power isn't disadvantaged in the bond structure moving forward. It's been, you know, we're continuing to grow, and we sell a lot of power to California. We sell a lot of power all over, and making sure that people have access and continue to build the grid is something very, very important to us. It's a key element of our economy. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.